Hey everybody, this is Charlie Garcia and you're listening to Dying on a Hill with a special little, it is this new episode, but it's going to be a nice little, chain of stories that we do because for those of you who don't know, which is hopefully everyone, I used to work in crowdfunding. It's actually where I got my start in marketing. So I got to do these very small campaigns that would, go out for the whole country and try and sell as much as you can in 6 weeks and then the thing's over and then it's done with. That's how I got my start in marketing. So it was very much like learning how to sprint before you could walk at all, but not all of those campaigns were, real.
Yeah.
So crowdfunding has a really soft spot on my soul because, it's just where, everything began for me. And joining me this week is my wife.
Hi.
Marianne Garcia,
Hi.
we'll call her.
Oh my God. Oh, your mom's going to kill me.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Anyways. One of the things that you love.
Yes.
Are scams.
I love scams. I love me a good scam. I like the kind of scam that nobody really gets hurt.
Sure.
But it's like American greed stuff.
Yeah. I think crowdfunding is much better as far as no victims go. Because no one ever lost their house because they donated too much money to crowdfunding. Exactly.
It's like...
However, the money that some of these people lose is not insubstantial.
For sure. Definitely.
So it does cross that beautiful Venn diagram that is our relationship.
Yeah.
And that's what this whole little mini series is going to be about. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be crowdfunding scams.
I love it.
I haven't thought of a fun pun for it yet, but I'm sure it'll come to me.
Yeah, I'll think of it too.
Right.
It'll pop up later on, I'm sure. And I'll just say it randomly and then I'll have to catch myself.
Well, good thing we're recording it.
That's a good thing.
'Cause then we'll know what the name of the
mini
series.
The mini series is gonna be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, quick thing about crowdfunding. Crowdfunding, it started in 2009 with the site Kickstarter, and the Brooklyn-based company basically gave a e-commerce platform for anyone who had a project that they wanted to get off the ground. At first, this was plays, movies, albums that people wanted to do.
Oh, so the starving artist didn't have to starve anymore.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And so it was a way for people to avoid having to go to their parents.
Oh my God.
Even though their parents were definitely the ones that were funding it.
Yeah. Hashtag that's my life too.
And then that evolved into people having tech projects that they wanted to crowdfund, or board games, and then card games, and then that turned into video games, that turned into everything else.
Sure.
Skip forward to when I got into crowdfunding, which is 2015. Right. It was basically a place to put any pre-launch product up. So if you knew you were going to make the product, it was just the matter of getting the initial funding, but you had enough to at least raise the money, then that's when the crowdfunding comes in.
I see.
Ideally, you'd have a prototype ready. You'd have something that you could show off that
Sure.
people could get their hands on, or that you can show people getting their hands on. That is usually what's sold best. However, I have run campaigns only using rendered assets.
Whoa.
And I've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars doing it.
How do you feel? How did you feel? You don't do it anymore, but how did you feel at the time when you were doing that? Did you feel like, well, this isn't a thing. This is probably a scam.
Yeah. So there were a few that were definitely snake oil.
Oh, really?
And as a marketer, you're never going to avoid snake oil.
Sure.
I want to really... In my mind, there is a difference between selling snake oil and then selling a scam. Snake oil, I'm selling something that honestly people should know better about.
Right. Of course.
It is weird, lavender Bikram yoga that costs $400. That's snake oil.
Sure.
It's not a scam.
Right.
Selling $1,000 retreats to people saying that it's going to cure their depression. That's a scam.
That's a scam.
very, very thin gray line there. But in my head, it's clear, and it's kind of it keeps me from stepping over the edge.
Sure. Like in your episode with Lori, the Fire Festival.
Sure.
Like, I'm sure if you were on that marketing team, you would have sat back or you would have come home to me every day and said, honey, this is a scam.
Yeah.
Honey, this is a scam.
And you've heard me come home and complain about the efficacy of my campaigns and what I'm doing and what we're telling clients. And
absolutely. I mean, I touch some videos that I touch or whatever. If it's not that I just cut them myself, or if I like have to do some finishing or something, it's always, a lot of it's like, it's all advertising, pretty much what I'm doing. And so sometimes I'm like, oh, this is such crap. Like,
yeah, you're a video editor, but your medium isn't really long form entertainment. It is short form advertising content.
That's correct.
Which is weird that's a job, but it's a job.
It's a job. And it's weird that some of the things that I cut, it's all advertising. It's like, it's so incensed in everything now that you can't even separate it anymore.
Yeah. So crowdfunding.
Yeah.
It's untrustworthy at best, to say the least. But, it is, because it's so untrustworthy and because it really relies on people doing what they say they're going to do, it is just rife with scams.
Oh my God. And I trust that you've chosen a few.
I was going to choose a few.
Okay.
And I ended up writing over 1,000 words on just one.
Just one?
Just one.
Oh, shit, honey. What is this?
So we're going to talk about the Dragonfly Futurfon. Futurfon, spelled Futurfon. It's an American company.
No,
so
it's
the
not.
misspelling is completely of no kind. They're trying to be Swedish. It's a terrible product. I can't wait. Yeah, it's a terrible product, and we're going to show it. I'm going to probably do some editing trickery, but we're just going to listen to it right now.
This is bullshit. What are you talking about? This isn't real. See, rendered assets.
Yeah. We'll keep...
I used to make videos kind of like this.
Sure.
Yeah, for like Best Buy.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm fucking over this.
There's another minute of the Futurfon's demo.
This is
but it's
so stupid.
So right off the bat, you immediately just started saying, no, what is this? This isn't real.
No.
This isn't a thing. And you're right.
Yeah.
Well, you're right in the sense that the video we just watched featured no real products.
Nope.
It was all 3D renders of the screen and stuff.
Yeah. Just
swiveling and moving around, which anyone...
Sure.
You pay $5,000 to someone who can use CAD and you can get that.
Easily.
And then everything else was probably just a green screen that they uploaded some easy images into. But you can see how... But it's actually interesting that you and I are now doing this because... your fascination is scams, but your expertise is in video production.
Right.
And I think one of the things that we clicked on back when we got together and I was doing crowdfunding is how you knew you could easily do the stuff that we were hiring people like $500 to like $1,000 to put together. Yeah. I think that's one of the things that made you realize you could charge more in your freelance career.
True. That's true. No, that's absolutely true. Because I was touching some of that stuff, like some of the stuff that I've cut in the past, like it's mostly just Instagram, Facebook, blah 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 blah. Like, and that's what you were doing. Yeah. And that's why I was like, oh, I could charge that much for a video like this. Okay.
Yeah. So the Dragonfly Futurfon was your typical crowdfunding project when it hit Indiegogo in 2014. It combined two things people had, a laptop and a phone, into something they didn't need, a laptop-sized phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, to be more specific, a dual-screened half Android, half Windows laptop thing. I think that's honestly the best way to describe it. It's like if you had a laptop that you chopped in half, and it could stick together, or it couldn't stick together if you didn't want it to stick together.
Why? Oh, okay. I'm gonna let you finish. Okay. Okay.
Well, it's the brainchild of this guy, Silicon Valley entrepreneur Jeff Battio, Battio, not to be confused with Michelangelo Battio, who is a man who shreds guitar, a double neck guitar.
That's
the
his
V.
real name?
Yeah,
That's the coolest fucking name of all time.
We're totally gonna watch a video of him after this.
Okay. That's a great name.
Yeah. Michelangelo Battio?
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, the less cool Battio
Yeah, Jeff.
put his like phone thing on Indiegogo in 2014 and ended up raising $726,000.
Okay.
So, it was described as the most flexible mobile platform. And there's a thing with crowdfunding where everything's the best or most or world's
Sure.
first. There's like, I hate that I have to say this because it's so obvious to me. But anytime you see the best or world's first or any sort of just qualifier in advertising,
Yeah.
don't listen to it.
Yeah,
it was
of course
it was
not.
thought of by a guy at a computer who's never seen the product you're about to buy.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
know.
No. Their job is to write copy for the product, and they're only going to make the product look good.
Yeah, and this fucking thing cost $799 by the time the campaign ended.
Fuck.
Right? So it cost as much as a brand new Samsung or
Yeah.
Apple phone.
Right.
And it is clearly of a quality much, much lower
Yeah.
than both of them.
This is you're going to make the link available, right? For this video, because this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Oh,
it
yeah.
looks like I used to have a Motorola flip phone.
The Razr phone.
Yeah. It wasn't a Razr. It was actually Dustin's phone that he gave to me. It ended up just breaking in half, and that's kind of like what it looks like. And it looks like I could like snap it in half.
Oh, sure.
Easily.
And we'll get to that later.
Okay. Please continue.
So, Silicon Valley entrepreneur Jeff Battio writes on his LinkedIn page, which is a weird wrinkle to things that I found in this research, is that I can research people via LinkedIn and see their profiles, and there's going to be a wrinkle to that later on, but we're going to get to it later.
Oh, Lord.
Anyways, he wrote on his LinkedIn, "A dream of mine has been many years in the making. It all began with my first company, Zentex, and has been quite the adventure for those who have been following my story. As the launch of the Dragonfly Futurfon nears, I am stunned when I look back at just how much blood, sweat, and tears went into making it this far. Anyone who knows me knows that I will never give up, but I could not have gotten to this point without the help from many great and talented visionaries that share in the dream of a true alternative in the mobile realm."
Who the fuck is this guy?
This is him writing on the eve of launching the product. So he's just, old Jeff is really feeling his Batios.
He is feeling himself.
Yeah.
He put that Lemonade album on and just fucking went to town.
Yeah, it could have been the Lemonade album
I
at
mean,
this
that
point.
album does things to me, so I get it.
So while it wasn't the most popular thing on Indiegogo, it raised less than $1 million. The truth is, about that much money, about $1 million, $750,000, is enough to start a business. One of the reasons people do crowdfunding isn't necessarily to raise the money they need to build a business. A business is absurdly expensive.
Right.
It's not just raising the money it takes to sell the product. It is raising the money it takes to pay salary for people to set up the infrastructure that allows you to create the product, and then the logistics to ship it. And there's so many parts of a company that there's no way that even one of these crowdfunding campaigns that raises $2 million, $3 million
Right.
could actually afford to stay solvent only on what's been raised on those websites.
Sure.
It's literally impossible unless you're making like a film or something where the budgets are very tightly controlled.
Right.
For the most part, people use this as sort of collateral for a bank loan that may get, or it can be the proof of concept to investors. Like, hey, look, I went and I sold this prototype basically, and then I got 100,000 people on this very niche website to buy into it. Doesn't this make you think that it could work?
And I also have a patent on it, or a patent pending, or
exactly.
whatever.
And that's sort of the dream of a lot of crowdfunders, is to get onto the site, to sell enough to make it, and then that gives them the exposure that will then lead into the inroads. So products that I sold eventually had updated versions of themselves appear in Best Buy and Target and Brookstone, and they're like fucking great. I love making licensing fees. I love just selling bulk. Like, the name of the game is not to sell your own product. It is to sell en masse to a big box store and let them do everything else.
Exactly. And like, so obviously crowdfunding is a great way for people who have ideas like that to get this stuff started, except for this particular idea.
Yeah, I mean, and it raised over $100,000 after it closed. And when something closes on crowdfunding, it's always going to miss. So what are you actually buying when you do crowdfunding? You're buying what's called a perk. Now, a perk used to be stickers, hats, shirts,
or like a hello, or an album,
dinners with the CEO, or something,
whatever.
It's now turned into, oh, you just buy this product. Okay, this inventory is gone, quote unquote. The inventory is gone. It's a completely made up number. If you miss the first tier of perks, you're missing it because of a completely random choice the person setting it made. A lot of times there is math based on what can I sell at cost before I really start hurting. But for the most part, it's all trickery to get as many people to buy at a mid-level as possible.
Right.
So it's pretty regular that things miss their due date. They'll always blame it on Chinese New Year or some sort of hurricane.
I remember that was a thing for you. People would say that all the time.
Well, because it's true. China shuts down, and that's where everything is made.
And it's 2 weeks, right?
It's a month.
It's a month.
So it's almost 6 weeks, I think.
Jesus, I remember that was a problem.
Yeah, and that's why every time we go to Las Vegas around January, February, it's all Chinese New Year, because it's a lot of tourists.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a big middle class there. Because there's a lot of factories, there's a lot of stuff that we're just outsourcing there. So, they have more people, so they will have more millionaires.
Yep.
Just by nature of there being 3 billion of them.
Right. Right.
So it's pretty regular for people to be giving updates saying, hey, sorry about this. We were very ambitious with this date that we set. Here's where the money's going, blah, blah, blah. And Futurfon did that via their social media manager, or who they're calling their vice president of social media, a woman who I was really, I had a struggle with if I was going to name her or not, because she's not named legally in anything.
Sure.
Lets you know where this is going.
Okay. Yep.
But I do find in my heart of heart that she is complicit. But there's more that I'm going to add after the fact.
Okay.
But her name is Bridget Hogan.
Okay.
And she did really, really regular updates every week saying, here's what's going on, sharing a new render. The problem was it was all kind of bullshit.
Really?
Yeah.
Bridget.
Yeah. As it turns out, Baudio was nowhere near close to finishing the first run of production on Futurfon, and which also had the names, by the way, of Stealth and IF Convertible.
What?
Like, he just kept naming it things. And people on Reddit, to their credit, are the ones that found out first.
We always do. I'm actually a part of a Reddit thread called Don't Fund Me. And it's just like
terrible.
It's like mostly like, I want to buy some stuff for Overwatch. Give me $1,000. Like, it's that kind of thing.
Well, from exclamation mark.
I love Reddit so much. I'm obsessed.
He goes, Bridget, this is in response to a demo, quote unquote, of the product, of a prototype.
Mm-hmm.
Bridget is closing the lid, but all of her fingers are under the edge of the screen, so there is no way she can apply force downwards. This suggests that the screen is falling under its own weight. The entire closing motion in that shot is awkward. Why would she grasp the screen with so many fingers? In my intuition, this is all it takes is a small push to set the screen off balance and cause them to collapse. There is nothing mechanical in this prototype at all.
Oh my God.
So people on Reddit started to notice that, holy shit, this is just like not.
They were just gleaning that from the video.
They were just gleaning it from the video. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And
wow.
and being they were starting to talk to each other, because that's another thing about crowdfunding communities is the comment section of a crowdfunding campaign is its own little social network.
Right.
I myself am a part of a backers group for a project that only exists so that we can just keep getting lied to about delivery dates.
Sure.
But you get the feeling that some people have a true connection to one another.
I think that's a thing. It's like, well, like what happened with the Fire Festival.
Sure.
Like it's the same kind of thing. Like Instagram, they took down Billy before he even got there. Like yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I wrote that, but on Reddit, because it's Reddit, people were getting suspicious.
Yeah, of course.
That's what Reddit does.
God, Reddit's the best.
So not only was he nowhere near delivering the $720 and change thousand worth of product, he was nowhere near delivering on the $5 million of investment that he was given from 2003 to 2014.
Oh my God.
With that little company that he mentioned earlier, Zentex. Yeah.
Not to be confused with the popular heartburn medication, Zantac.
And as it turned out, that was also pivoted, centered, hubbed around a folding dual screen laptop.
What the fuck?
So it seems like it's been this guy's jam for the majority of his adult life.
He can't stand having more than one device.
I think I wrote it as Radian. Another just a completely meaningless tech name.
Yeah.
Zentex, Radian, Dragonfly, Futurfon. Like this guy, if nothing else, is great at Mad Lib meaningless tech names.
Yeah.
Stealth.
Sure. It's like he takes them out of a fishbowl and just throws them on the wall. And it's like, he's like, Laner.
He leaves a boggle up in the attic, and then a ghost shakes it up for him. And so from 2003 to 2014, Badios was just doing his, your typical American greed thing on his way to committing 6 acts of wire fraud and 6 acts of mail fraud.
Oh, shit.
So the thing he was arrested for isn't necessarily the crowdfunding campaign.
I see. It's all the other ones.
But it was the other stuff that he definitely did.
Right.
I think at a certain point, he did get the maximum sentence of 20 years. There's possibility for parole, but he was just convicted in July.
Oh, so this is pretty recent.
Pretty recent.
Okay.
So there are people that he stole from in 2003.
Jesus. That
only now just got some kind of peace of mind. Not restitution, because the money's definitely gone.
Right, obviously.
That's the one thing there's never American greed that ends with, and then they found all the money in his bed.
They didn't. They never find the money.
So from justice.gov.
Oh, good.
It says, Badio also claimed to be involved in discussions with large technology companies concerning partnership deals, licensing arrangements, and marketing agreements, when, in fact, Badio's contacts with those companies typically consisted of nothing more than his opening sales pitch. So he was just cold emailing like decks to people
What the
saying that he had agreements with them. Because I don't know if you noticed, his PC right there had Windows operating on it.
Yes, it sure did.
So that's something you got to work with Microsoft about, which
Also,
I'm sure is very easy to do.
Same with the Netflix assets. Like, you can't just take those.
Right.
You have to. So I'm looking at that video, like, just specifically the video.
That's probably why it's on Vimeo.
That's why. That's why.
Yeah, because YouTube wouldn't allow it.
No.
And Vimeo is sort of like a free artist place.
Exactly. It's I like hosting my stuff on there better just because, like, a lot of the times it's because it's a reel that I've made that has a popular song underneath it. And YouTube will flag that immediately.
Right.
And so, yeah. Well, and I'm just thinking about, like, the people that had to, like, do all the rendering and the CAD work and, like, maybe even Maya for the video that we just watched.
Oh, no. Well, he definitely paid someone. He probably paid someone. I know exactly how these guys work because I worked with so many of them. This guy just happens to also be a scam artist.
Right.
But most of these crowdfunding people are wired exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's just how much are they willing to lie? There was one I worked with. I don't think I can say what it was, but I think it definitely turned out to be a scam. Either in the sense that the thing he was selling was just aftermarket cell phone attached, like with a Bluetooth mirror hooked up. He came into the office and I said, we cannot work with this guy. And they're like, well, he wants to spend $100,000, Charlie. Give us a reason why. And I go, his product sucks.
Yeah.
I can buy $100 Nook right now from Best Buy across the street. I can root kernel it and then just make that a mirror display, and it does everything that his fucking thing does, and I don't have to wait 3 years for it. And I say that, and people are like, well, no one's gonna fucking do that, Charlie. Guess what? People on crowdfunding will. Because those are the people that know how to do that
They were
shit.
looking for something so specific. You know, here comes a thing. There's the product. It's like, no, these people are smart enough. They'll figure it out for themselves.
And I think that eventually got taken down.
Yeah.
I think the whole campaign went defunct. And which is funny because he spent a absurd amount of money for an Instagram model to...
Oh, my God.
To do a demo of it, quote unquote, except she didn't include any hyperlinks.
Oh,
so it
what
was
a
just
dummy.
wasted impressions.
Oh, fuck. Oh my God. But how sweet does that taste?
Oh, I love it. I love it when the Schadenfreude happens like that.
Yeah.
That motherfucker ruined my Vegas vacation.
And you got very sick and gave me the flu.
I did.
So cool.
Anyways, the Danzig report, danzigreport.com, no relation to Danzig.
I'm gonna say
they have a great write-up on this. I suggest everyone go find it. Just type in Dragonfly Futurfon and Danzig. It'll come up. But it just says how doggish Bridget Hogan and Jeff Barrios were about clearing out the comments. So when you're in a crowdfunding campaign and you can go into the comments section and be like, where the fuck is my thing? Where the fuck is the thing? And also on Facebook and with ads, we run ads for all of these campaigns.
Right.
And sometimes those are retargeting ads, which means we've already hit someone once, so we're hitting them again. But that gives them a post now that, they know this product, and they can, now comment on this post that they're being targeted with. And so the posts of an ad is a very dark place.
Oh God. Oh my God. Yes, I bet.
Yeah. If you think the post of comments of a regular post are bad, the comments of ads are way worse.
Oh God.
I just tell people, no, don't even read them. They have no real correlation to your movie, product, or nothing. I ask people, do you know anyone who comments on Facebook ads?
Right.
And usually they'll look at me and say no, and I go, good, that's who we're dealing with here. And that usually
Understood.
is enough said.
Sure, of course.
But I mean, I guess to their credit, Barrios and Hogan both were very dogged about deleting all of the comments on the Indiegogo page where I think where they could, and then also deleting everything they could on Facebook. So the Facebook was very much them trying to maintain that idea that this is a very successful campaign still and it's going to deliver. Again, though, Reddit. Right.
The saviors of the internet.
And community management is really important in crowdfunding, and it just sucks that someone who apparently had all the tools to be good at it.
Right.
Because she could keep up with the negative of it.
Yeah.
So if she was just only selling a good product, like, she would have been great at the job.
Yeah.
But she committed so hard to a lot that,
Right.
And again, here's something that she posted on a LinkedIn Pulse. You remember that?
No.
It was like when LinkedIn tried to do Twitter.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She writes, "I have been extremely lucky to have a boss that is also my mentor."
Wow.
Yeah. So the more I read about her, and the more I read the comments and the Reddit things, people do have sort of a culty vibe coming off of her because she's the figurehead of everything.
It's like a
people
Nexium
didn't
thing.
even know what Jeff Bezos looked like. They weren't sure if he was real or not.
He was like a dummy.
There were literally arguments in the comments section of him telling people that he was real.
What the
That's how batshit insane this whole thing got.
Oh my God.
The guy running the campaign, who was definitely scamming everyone,
Right.
was arguing that he existed in the first place.
Yeah, he had to do the Reddit thing of AMA. I'm Jeff Bezos. Ask me anything.
He sent people links to photos of himself.
What the fuck?
And people ended up posting his private information on the comments section of Indiegogo and on Reddit because he was clearly scamming everyone.
Look
but
out,
because
Jeff.
it's the internet, and it's because it's this part of the internet, of course people know how to look up your domain registry and see that you have a phone number and a address and all these things attached to it in an email, usually a personal email.
Right.
All this stuff is publicly accessed. It's easy to get to if you know where to look.
Right.
And bam, the yellow pages, all these things pop up when you look at the Reddit thread.
Shit.
People did their fucking dirty homework. Anyways, back to Bridget.
Oh, Bridget.
So Bridget, vice president of social media.
Right.
Which, it's not a thing. You can't be the vice president of social media. Social media is an arm of either PR or marketing or
I'm the vice president of the kitchen. Okay.
What does that make the president of the vice president of marketing, like the super ultra vice president?
Yeah, the assistant to the vice president.
What we've noticed is that your organization chart looks very wide and not very deep.
Okay. I have to change that. Excuse me.
So she got interviewed from a website called IDG Connect in 2014, which is, it's covered in hilarity because it is Bridget Hogan talking about life after a campaign.
The whole thing.
Just what do you know? Not even what happened to her.
Oh,
just what does a company do after a campaign's over? What are the next steps? So it's very much a fluff piece.
Yeah, of course.
So I just want to take a little piece of it out and read it to you.
Okay.
The interviewer writes, did you ever get rewards out to founders okay, and were they happy with the product? Due to the redesign efforts, this is 2014. God. Due to the redesign efforts, we have yet to ship the Dragonfly. We have kept in contact with our first contributors and extended our ship date, but it is only for the benefit of our customers. We had to make sure we gave them a product that met our standards. Our contributors have been extremely instrumental in this process and have helped us include all of the things they want in the Dragonfly. As a thank you for their time and patience, and to show our commitment to each of our early evangelists, we decided to give them all free Dragonfly Futurfons. In other words, we are extremely serious about staying true and honest with all of our contributors and partners. So that sounds great, doesn't it?
Yeah, Bridget, but really, what is it?
Yeah.
No.
It's It was nothing. They never delivered a goddamn
It's not
thing.
because it's not real.
Yeah. And Badio also, in one of his comment section arguments, defended her adamantly, saying that she was exceptionally qualified for her job.
Good for her.
I found her LinkedIn.
Okay.
And here's where I will here's what I will say about her. I think yeah, she obviously has a talent for PR, because that's a good PR response.
Damn.
It's completely full of shit, but you know what? That's PR.
That's what PR is.
We just watched Succession.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But I think I can't even really begin to imagine the shitstorm this woman brought onto herself by pissing off the internet.
Oh, that's one thing. You just don't fuck with Reddit. You don't fuck with like any of that. Like,
because the rest of her LinkedIn is nothing.
Oh shit.
She apparently is going back to school.
Oh my God.
But she doesn't have a photo. She was really hard to find. I didn't know she was the correct one until I went digging around in Jeff Badios's
oh my God.
LinkedIn profile and saw that she had endorsed him on one of his skills.
Holy shit.
So I went digging for her.
Yeah,
I
it took a
wanted
minute.
to figure out what happened.
It took a minute.
And it looked like she scrubbed her LinkedIn completely to try and, I think, hide. And I do want to say I don't blame her.
Of course not. That's got to be really tough, you know.
Yeah, I think she's culpable.
Mm-hmm.
I think
right.
she's responsible for continuing a lie. There were weird rumors about like them getting married and shit.
That's weird.
Yeah. I mean, but this is the internet.
Sure.
So probably not true.
Just so, like the dragonfly.
Yeah. So, I wanted to say, like, yes, that is her name. She is a part of the story, but she probably suffered greatly from, death threats and whatever.
Sure.
The thing you always hear people on the internet doing.
Yeah, it's like the Wild West.
Is she wrong? Yeah.
Yeah, she's wrong.
Yeah, she's super wrong.
Yeah.
But she wasn't named in any legal action.
Right.
And that has to mean something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my piece about her part of it. Hopefully she can move on. But the part about her being exceptionally qualified, her only job was as Xandex.
Oh.
Because there's nothing for her after a certain year. It's like
she just pressed the reset button.
Yeah.
She Dick Whitman'd it.
She's Dick Whitmaning hard right now.
Yeah.
Godspeed.
Yeah, good for you.
But I also wanted to go through some of the comments.
Oh my God.
Is
it bad?
They're not really bad. But this just gives you an idea of the community that's going on in this crowdfunding campaign. So this is from 6 days ago.
Oh, wow. It's recent.
Checked my mail, and there was a Department of Justice letter in there. I'll copy and paste all of the contents once I remove my personal info, victim number, and PIN.
Holy shit.
So now they're using the comment section to organize information on the class action lawsuit and scammers victim. Because they did eventually get included in the scam, I think, because of the lies about like Microsoft and the technology.
I got
and all
it.
That.
Okay.
So that part of it was the true lie that they could trace back to him, at least for the crowdfunding part. In 2018, this guy named Chris Adams wrote, "Wow, so it hit me today that I've been fucked on this. Looks like you all beat me."
Shit.
So that goes to show you how some people in 2018 were saying, "No, this thing's delivering. What are you talking about?"
Wow.
Talk about dying on a hill, right?
They died.
Many people died,
came back
on
to
these
life,
hills.
and died again.
2017, Elijah Tyson wrote, "Well, I'll be fuck me in the ass." No wonder why not getting updates or anything. Big fuck you in my face. I want my money as well as everyone else. Fuck this crowdfunding bullshit. I'm done with this. Where's the petition to sign to get our money back?
I love him.
Yeah, that was 2017.
I'm going to send him a card.
And it's funny because, you know, it's crowdfunding. It's a particular kind of person.
Sure.
And it's just so, I don't know. It's so funny to see these communities that are really, they're kind of trolly.
Yeah.
And I say that with love. Like, I was a part of the crowdfunding community.
Yeah.
I lived and breathed it for a year and some change.
I've donated to plenty of crowd funds.
I know the power of it.
Yeah. Like, to me, crowdfunding can be used for good.
Sure.
But it also can be used for terrible evil.
I think, you know, it just goes to show you, I think with all marketing, you have to, you know, pick your pants up.
Oh, man. Do you even?
Yeah, you got to watch out. Because there's going to be scams left and right. There's going to be scams no matter where you are.
And some of
just
them
because someone
delicious.
tells you to trust them.
Yeah, no.
That just means you should trust them even less.
Don't ever trust somebody that tells you to trust them. Come on.
And that's kind of what crowdfunding is, isn't it?
Yes.
That being said, I have been a part of a lot of really good crowdfunding campaigns.
Yeah.
But, you know.
And I'm not thinking of just products. I'm more thinking about, like, you know, a friend of mine wanted to put up a show at, I think the Hudson or something. And she needed a bunch of money to like, well, not a bunch, but like enough to just pay the people that she wanted to help her. And I think it's stuff like that. Or like, my God, like when Dave got his leg broke. You know, they did a thing for him, and like when people get in accidents and stuff like that, like helping your friends out, you know, that's what that shit should be for, but not to sell your fake ass, like,
you know, I think I don't think we're really, one thing I acknowledge about crowdfunding is that it's not for normal people.
Right.
And that's a good thing and a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. I think what it does is it provides a few incentives that are just a little intangible.
Right.
It lets you get on the ground floor of something really interesting. Kind of gives you bragging rights. A lot of the people who do hipster tech bragging rights.
Yeah.
You know, my old boss who passed away, he was doing crowdfunding stuff because he was a big crowdfunding fan and just had boxes and boxes of fucking shit.
Oh my God.
It's a little techno hoarders, but it's basically high risk buying.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. So you're supporting something cool. You get to say that you're a part of the like avant-garde zeitgeisty movement in tech.
Sure.
And then you get to just play the roulette of, do I get this thing?
Wow. Well, that's fun.
It is for a particular kind of person.
Yep.
And if you like it, great.
Good for you.
More power to you.
Yeah. Have a good time.
Just watch out for those. We haven't thought of a name yet.
No, I thought it was going to come to me and it didn't. I'm sorry. I'm having an eye spasm, so I'm like really focused on that.
That's okay.
Yeah. Like it's happened this entire time.
Well, that's crowdfunding scams.
Yay.